G'day, today I want to show you just how easy it is to install an Adventure Kings rooftop tent onto your four-wheel drive. Our rooftop tents will suit a wide range of vehicles and roof racks. So whether you're using a flat rack, crossbars or a canopy, they'll work with your setup. To fit them to a four-wheel drive Supacentre rooftop tent rack or flat rack, the first step is removing the rooftop tent from the box and adding the support beams. It comes with a spare 10 and 13mm spanner. The only thing you'll need to fit your new tent is a Phillips head screwdriver. Everything else is included in the package. You'll need to line up the holes in these beams with the holes in the tent base. Next, grab the 4 large washers and 4 thin screws, then push them through those holes from the inside of the tent. While holding the screw, slide the nut into position, then nip up the screw till it's tight. You'll need to fit 2 of these to each of the beams. So once we've bolted up these 2 rails, we're going to need to flip it over so we can attach the 2 ladder mounts. Simply grab the remaining 4 thin screws and 8 washers. Add a washer to each screw, then thread them from the inside of the tent. Put the mounts over the screws, then add another washer and a nut to each, and make sure they're tight. Once you've finished that, put the cover back over your tent so it's easier to handle. To save yourself any hassle before you lift it up, just make sure it's going to open the right way for your setup. The easiest way to do that is feel for these ladder mounts, and just remember it's going to open the opposite way. Now here's where you'll probably need a mate to give you a hand to lift, but once it's up, you should be able to sort it out. Now once it's in position, you're going to grab these mounts and put a bolt through each. Now these slide through the rail and connect your tent to your roof rack. Lift the tent from one side, then slide these mounts into the rails and position them around the structural parts of the roof rack or bars. A stable step ladder might help, or use your sliders, side steps or tyres. Lower the tent back onto the rack and just make sure those mounts haven't moved. If you're happy with where your tent is sitting, it's easy to secure it. Put these flat steel plates over the bolts, then do up the 8 nuts. It's so simple. Rightio, so those 8 nuts are nice and tight. Now it's a good idea in about a week's time to go over them again just to make sure they haven't loosened off. And whenever you're going over your car to check any other nuts and bolts, it's a good idea to include those as well. Don't forget to put the end caps over the alloy beams to protect them too. Next, you'll need to attach the ladder. So you'll need the 2 short bolts and remaining nuts to fasten the ladder onto the mounts. Righto, so with the last ladder bolt done up, all we have to do is throw the annex back in, put the cover back over the tent, and we're ready to hit the road.